The Human Citadel, or the City as it's also known, is one of the larger optional areas in the game world of Soul Reaver, consisting of what is effectively the last human settlement, and including the Waterglyph altar and several optional upgrades. The area was originally intended to house a number of other features, and most notably of all, it was intended to be the gateway to a deleted level, the Undercity, but that's a story for another time. The Citadel is accessed through the northern exit from the Abyss in retail. Much of the approach to the city is the same, although some of the water flows are incomplete or missing. The outer area of the city reveals a number of changes from the retail version. Hunters patrolling the outside and boulder objects are missing. In some builds, water can even be walked on as a solid object. Perhaps the most striking modification is the addition of a barred grate on the southern wall, which allows Raziel to overlook the approaching path. But from inside, it's completely removed during development and is replaced by a rock wall. Moving up through the passage opposite, there are no doors, and there's no block puzzle to enter, just stairs. And at the top, the platform to glide across is much more raw and rocky, rather than the finished platform in the retail version. Entering the Citadel and dropping down below reveals the slope to the balcony is missing, and the main doors of the Citadel do not yet exist on the inside. Continuing on, there's no climbing wall or energy pickup alcove, and the following circular room is entirely missing. The main water tower area has fewer occupants with only a single hunter, and no gibberish language conversation in the background. The tower itself bulges notably in Spectral, and has a climbing wall alongside it which is missing in retail. This interestingly features a slight overhang at the top of the wall. Atop the tower, where there are only jumping platforms and alcoves for collectibles in retail, there is actually a small door in Alpha, which allows entry to the internal cistern and water pipes of the tower. The first chamber is even populated by an adult Rahabim. The pipes going down contain fledgling Rahabim pupating in cocoons. Continuing down the pipes still leads to the Waterglyph area with its own interesting changes, but that's a story for another video. As in retail, the waterglyph area leads back up to the bridge overlooking the entrance, and much along the main passageway from the water pipes to here is the same, although the bridge across the top of the entrance area does not bear the railings of the retail version. Moving into the City 2 area from the side of the main tower once again features missing doorways, while the corridors are planar with no details. City 2 is decorated with the symbols seen throughout the area in retail. The Alpha Pillars area allows us to identify it as the prototype Pillar of Mind symbol. Given the other apparent references to Mind Guardian and Prapta, this is an interesting connection. There is no locked door at the centre of the City 2 room, and the balcony with the switch which opened the door in retail has a railing preventing jumping access. Inside the centre area, there is no flowing water. The way this appears to be set up, a human would need to be possessed to activate the switch to gain access to the centre climbing wall and allow Raziel to progress onto the Spirit Forge. An alcove above leads to another strikingly different area. Stairs, which are missing in the alphas, lead down to City 4, a room which in the retail is a distinctive area containing an Eldritch energy power-up with unique textures and a notable face design. In the alpha, however, this room is totally different, with a somewhat familiar base design. This is the Spirit Forge, deleted from the game. In the alpha builds, the Human Citadel unexpectedly featured snow. It's unclear if this is by error or by design. Returning to the main tower area, a passageway at the back leads through to City 8 and City 9 and on to the Undercity. Interestingly, however, the Elder God's prompt to go to the Undercity mentions a return to the Human Citadel, potentially suggesting the city was meant to be discovered and accessed before coming back later to reach the Undercity.